Hey there, welcome to the presentation of my Data Warehousing and Business Intelligence ETL Project 2 presentation for National College of Ireland IFSC campus as part of my Level 9 PG Diploma in Data Analytics course. My student credentials are given on the left. This is a data warehousing implementation applied to the ethnic restaurant and takeaway sector. The project strives to deliver the task of consolidating several streams of structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data, including those from social media and CRM or ERP systems and industry reports, among others, to improve the corporate planning and reporting mechanism, as well as address the issues of competitive intelligence for an imaginary company. We must assume the role as data warehousing and business intelligence experts and build a prototype data warehouse to convince management to invest in a fully fledged data warehouse. In order to achieve this objective, we must architect and populate a warehouse, but also prepare 3 or more appropriate case studies so that they can be used to convince management of the usefulness of a data warehousing solution. Designing of data warehousing helps to convert data into useful information which the management can use. Of course, the prime consideration is return on investment because a project has to be viable or at least pay for itself in terms of the savings and efficiencies that it should generate by implementation of the same. Now, the factors for a data warehousing success and all those kind of things are explained through these diagrams which I created. Here you can see a brief preview of the OLAP cube and the whole ambit of data warehousing and the ETL process, how it works, how data is sourced from operational databases and external sources, cleaned, extracted, transformed, loaded, and then administered into data marts, thereby being sent to OLAP cubes and finally being extracted for analytical purposes by generating reports and graphs, which are an essential business intelligence aid to the management. I started with a very challenging set of data. It was particularly difficult because uh, my files were all in .srf formats, which were full of a lot of garbled information, which had to be cleaned out. But on forensic information, I found that the data was also pretty useful. Then I had a eureka moment of sorts, and I thought of writing a C# code to convert all my .srf files into .csv files. The code is appended at the end of the project in the written report. But on the right here, you see a little preview of how the code starts and what it delivered. The ETL process of building my data warehouse started by creating a new project on MS SQL called DW project. Next, all the .srf files were cleaned up. The text was cleared and cleaned to obliterate all the superfluous asterisks, semicolons, blank spaces, and so on by using this little lovely piece of SQL syntax, which is on your screen. I started by creating a staging table, and then I created more dimension tables, as you can see, and started an ETL project on Visual Studio. You can already see that the data warehouse is starting to gain a structure of its own. In this, you can see how I have used RStudio to do a sentimental analysis of several top-selling dishes and then exported them as MS Excel files to get them analyzed from a tool downloaded from Symmetria.com by Lexelytics. This is in continuation of the previous slide, and it shows how the data has been converted into CSV files which give a sentimental analysis and scores for all the sentimental values. After that, I pass my data from discrete sources to the OLADB destination 1 and loading all the data from the staging table into the various dimension tables by using a multicast, multicasting and loading into various tables from the staging table here. Using this SQL command, I also extracted all the data from the various dimension tables and the sentimental tables and stored it into my fact tables of my data warehouse. This effectively concluded my initial ETL process in which I have parsed the data, corrected and enhanced it, standardized it, matched the records, consolidated the matched records, and I'm going to move on to the analytics service next. Okay, this is fairly easy peasy. You just use the MS SQL analytics service and create an analysis project by creating an OLAP cube. In this, we also create certain new dimensions such as date dimensions for better analysis of the use cases by using dimension wizard. As you can see, all my dimensions and the relationships are becoming eminently clear. Lovely job there. And fantastic. Now we have outputs. After creating all the required dimensions, the analysis service was run to investigate the use cases by generating pivot tables on MS Excel, some of which are illustrated as discussed below. Here you see some here you see some more awesome tables which are giving a flavor of the entire shape of the business and the health of the business, the monthly sales trends, the yearly sales trends, and so on. And last but not the least, here is the Twitter sentimental analysis. It is an awesome graph. It gives us all the dish names and the positive, negative, and neutral comments relating to these dishes in this lovely tricolored bar chart. It's a three-dimensional bar chart, which pretty much brings us nicely to the end of my slideshow. As you can see, I've got the three business value use cases and the discussions, and I'm able to make some solid and concrete recommendations to the management. And I want to thank you for watching it, folks.